Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Hazrat Shereen Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, Kaniz of Imam Hussain alayhi salam.
When Hazrat Shereen Salam, the granddaughter of Nashirwan and Princess of Persia, became a prisoner during the era of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, she had few female servant slaves with her, and one of them was Hazrat Shereen.
Hazrat Shereen Salamullah alayha freed all her female servant slaves except Hazrat Shereen. Hazrat Shereen was very obedient, devoted and faithful to the family of Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wasallam. When Hazrat Shereen was married to Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Hazrat Shereen came along with her.
For many years, Hazrat Shereen served Imam Hussain alayhi salam. After the birth of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, Hazrat Shereen died, and Hazrat Shereen took the responsibility of caring for the fourth Imam alayhi salam. One day, Imam Hussain alayhi salam became so happy with Hazrat Shereen that he decided to free her. But Hazrat Shereen refused to be freed from the service of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam.
Imam Hussain alayhi salam arranged her marriage with a very nice gentleman and ordered her to go with her husband. Because of the order of the Imam, Hazrat Shereen could not refuse. She asked Imam Hussain alayhi salam to make her one promise, that once in a lifetime, Imam Hussain alayhi salam will be her guest.
Imam Hussain alayhi salam accepted and promised her that one day he will come to her home and be her guest. But Shereen said that she didn't only want Imam Hussain alayhi salam to come, but that he should bring the whole family of the Ahlul Bayt, Ahlul Haram, and the whole family would be her guest, and only then will she be given respect. Imam Hussain alayhi salam promised her that he would come with the whole family.
After hearing this, Hazrat Shereen was so excited that she started crying at the feet of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. But then Imam Hussain alayhi salam asked Hazrat Shereen that if he came to her home and be her guest, and if she would not recognize her guest. Hazrat Shereen was shocked after hearing this news. She asked, how can she forget her master, especially when her master is her guest? How can she not recognize her Princess Kulsum and Princess Sayyida Zainab Salamullah alayha and her master Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam?
So when Shereen was about to leave, Imam Hussain alayhi salam gave her several shawls. Hazrat Shereen asked him why he gave her so many chadars. But Imam Hussain alayhi salam simply said to keep them there, as maybe one day when she will need them.
Shereen left and began her life in Kufa at a high place and a big house also known as Fort of Shereen. There in Kufa she spread the news that she is the freed slave of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and one day Imam Hussain alayhi salam will be her guest along with the whole family. Soon time passed and Shereen heard the news that Imam Hussain alayhi salam is reaching Kufa. When she heard this news, she got excited because she knew in her heart that the Imam promised her and that he would come, and the Imam will fulfill his promise in any case.
So she started preparing the house for her beloved guests. She made sure that her honored and beloved guests would have every comfort she could provide in little time. Months passed, but she hadn't heard any news of her master Imam Hussain alayhi salam. She also didn't know that the incident of Karbala had taken place, so she was completely unaware of the situation. She didn't know the sufferings of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam.
One day Hazrat Shereen went to her bed at night, and after a while her servant came and told Hazrat Shereen that there is a small caravan that has reached Kufa. The caravan has many soldiers and there are heads of the rebels. Some prisoners are also with them and they want to spend the night at your fort.
Hazrat Shereen came by herself in order to see the caravan, and she saw that the soldiers belonged to Ibn Ziyad, and that the leader was Shimr. Shimr asked to spend the night at her fort.
When Hazrat Shereen saw the heads, she was not able to recognize them because they were all covered with blood and dirt.
There was a man who had heavy chains around his neck, and his arms and feet were bound by chains. His head was bowed, so Hazrat Shereen wasn't able to see his face at night.
Then she saw some women sitting on the back of the camels, and they were all covering their faces with their hairs. Shereen got the impression that these women may have belonged to an honorable family. That is why they are covering their faces with their hair. In other words, they were making a wheel with their hairs. So Hazrat Shereen ordered her servants to open all the guest rooms, and she saw that all the soldiers went inside the rooms except the prisoners who were sitting in the open yard.
So Hazrat Shereen asked the soldiers if the prisoners could also go inside and rest. Shimr agreed, and then Hazrat Shereen went to those prisoners and told them to come inside and rest in the rooms. And then Hazrat Shereen told the prisoners, "My master told me that when you come across the prisoners, never make fun of them. Feel free to use the things and eat and drink." After coming inside the room, one of the ladies asked Hazrat Shereen to ask the soldiers for the heads of their loved ones. Hazrat Shereen asked the soldiers, and the soldiers agreed and gave all the heads to the ladies.
After getting the heads, Hazrat Shereen was shocked to see that all of the ladies were restless, but none were crying. So one of the ladies told Hazrat Shereen, "Since our relatives were killed, we have been forbidden to cry. So can we please cry in your home? We will cry in a very low voice." Hazrat Shereen told them that it is her house and they have full permission to cry for their loved ones, and they can also do matam for their loved ones.
"And when you cry for your loved ones, also pray for me, so that my one wish can come true. I've heard from my master that the prayers of prisoners are listened to by Allah." Hazrat Shereen continued. So the lady asked her what her wish was. So Hazrat Shereen told them that her master is on his way with all the princesses, and the family will come and be her guests. Pray that they will all arrive at her home safely and be her guest. The lady didn't say anything.
Hazrat Shereen tried to go outside the room, and then she heard a lady crying, "Oh, my brother Hussain." She turned in anger and told the lady that every lady can cry except her. If she wants to cry, she should change the name of her beloved and call her by his brother's name or something else. And the lady agreed. Then again Hazrat Shereen heard the voice, "Oh, my Abbas's brother Hussain." She returned again and told the lady that she is not allowed to call her beloved one by his name, by this name. She should change the name again and call her beloved one by his son's name. So the lady agreed. And now Hazrat Shereen heard the cry, "Oh, my Ali Akbar's father Hussain."
Now Hazrat Shereen went inside the room and sat in front of the lady and held both of her hands. She then asked her, "All these names you mentioned are from the family of my master. Please tell me, who are you?" After hearing this, Bibi Zainab Salam could not control herself, and she showed her face and asked Hazrat Shereen, "Have you forgotten us? Remember, Shereen, my brother asked you to be careful of that situation when we would become your guests and you wouldn't be able to recognize us."
Then Shereen cried and asked, "Where is my master Imam Hussain alayhi salam? Where is Hazrat Abbas and Hazrat Ali Akbar? Where is Imam Zainul Abidin?" Bibi Zainab Salamullah alaiha told Shereen that no men were left alive except Hazrat Sajjad alayhi salam.
Hazrat Shereen cried more than she had ever cried before. She then remembered that Imam Hussain alayhi salam had given her shawls in times of need. She went and brought those shawls and distributed them among the ladies. But Shimr ordered the soldiers and snatched the shawls away from them.